and welcome everyone. The summer of 2021 class of Healings and Transitions offers the following, inspired by Naomi Shahib's poem, Famous.
The celebrant of healings is famous to the silver lining, shining behind dark clouds, longing to be seen. I want to be famous for catching the moment when spirit lifts her gaze to the sky and sees the silver lining and knows she will survive. The celebrant of healings is famous to the grit and endurance of weary hearts begging for sustenance. I want to be famous for telling the story of how hope held on.
The celebrant of healings is famous to the sorrowful tale for fearlessly hearing it. Healing balm is famous to the wounds that yearn desperately for succor. I want to be famous for hearing the pain and finding the words and actions that inspire and soothe. I want to be famous for bringing the balm that soothes the wounds.
The celebrant of healings is famous to the cries, the need, the call to hold center for a moment in the honoring of life and all of our relations. I want to be famous to the sea turtles, whom I hold one by one in my hand, a living life force destined for ocean water. I want to be famous to the water, who opens to the need, turtle, ocean, and the oneness of all life. I want to be famous to the night who answers the call of the moment where everything aligns and the world is whole once again.
The celebrant of healings is famous to souls for aiding in their evolution. I want to be famous to emotions for allowing them simply to be without any fear of judgment. I want to be famous to wounds for helping them morph into scars, and to scars for granting them freedom of speech. I want to be famous for joining grief down in the trenches and lifting it into the light so it can resolve.
The celebrant of healings is famous to stories of pain shared under a cloak of darkness. I want to be famous to individuals, groups, and communities who seek care on their journey towards transformation and transcendence, donning a new cloak of meaning. I want to be famous for witness to their journey. I want to be famous in the way a needle and thread are famous, stitching stories of intention and meaning into a healing tapestry so they may breathe life and live.
The celebrant of healings is famous in the way of a fifth grade class, not because they're rambunctious, but because they're team players. I want to be famous in the way a detour sign stands at a dead end because it indicates a new direction. I want to be famous in the way of grandma's Afghan, not because of its bright colors, but it reminds me of the warmth of her love. I want to be famous in the way of a rose because of its soft petals and its thorns as well.
The celebrant of healings is famous to the longing within hearts for connection, to the smile that flashes suddenly through the tears, sun pouring through the dark clouds. The celebrant of healings is famous to the forgetfulness of gravity that comes in lucid dreams as we leap and fly, the power of story, painting pictures in the air. I want to be famous for making it look easy and for teaching others how to fly.
We want to be famous for finding the words,
for telling the story,
for stitching stories into healing tapestries,
for hearing the pain and bringing the balm,
for helping wounds morph into scars,
for telling the story of how hope held on,
for teaching others how to fly,
for holding the moment where everything aligns and the world is whole once again.